seen a rope. Pop out like a boogeyman, thought you seen a ghost. Yeah, pressure, so impressive. Ain't no pressure, no pressure. So impressive. Yeah, I'm pressure.
What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal, man?
Who's that?
Hold on. There we go. All right, man. Let's see what's going on, man. We got Cenat and his girlfriend GiGi mother is crashing out. Let's see what's going on with that, man. Wait, what? There we go. All right, let's get it, man.
I grew up having a lot of materialistic stuff. I can say this. I grew up with a lot of materialistic stuff. Like, everybody knows. You know me. If you've been knowing me since I was a kid, you know I was a very spoiled kid. Like, I had everything. But I feel like what I was lacking in life, like, I grew up having a lot of materialistic stuff. I can say this. I grew up with a lot of materialistic stuff. Like, everybody knows. You know me. If you've been knowing me since I was a kid, you know I was a very spoiled kid. Like, I had everything. But I feel like what I was lacking in life, like, what I was lacking growing up was the feeling of just true love. Like, I felt like I didn't really have, like, I don't know, I never really just felt like love. Like, you know, like, everything was just thrown at me. I feel like when like, I hate to, like, say certain things, but this is kind of like a vulnerable video, and of course I'm grown. Like, this stuff don't matter to me or mean anything to me anymore, but it's something that I'm definitely aware of. But you know, when, like, people are guilty, they try to throw things at you. Like, you ever watch, like, a movie where, like, there's, like, this rich kid, and then they have, like, the parents that's always at work, but the parents is like, okay, like, I'm just gonna get you a new purse, I'm just gonna get you a new this, I'm just gonna get you a new that. And it's like, yeah, like, that stuff be cool because it's like, okay, now, like, I got it. But it's like, no, I just really wanted somebody that was there to just listen and just, you know, somebody I could open up to. And I feel like that made me the way I am today. And I'm learning now that I don't have to be this way, but I feel like it made me, like, strong. Like, it made me, like, feel like I have to hold everything in. Like, I don't talk to no, like, not like that, but, like, anytime I'm going through something, you'll never know, because it's like, I don't open up to people, I don't talk to people, because I never really had that as a child. So it's like, now it's easier for me to just get through life alone.
Hey, and that's crazy because, like, it was a point in time that I felt like that as well. So I can relate to this for sure. I could definitely relate to this because, you know, like, my parents, they wasn't the most. Now, don't get me wrong, they loved me in other ways, you know, making sure I had clothes on my back. You know what I mean? You know, giving me some type of structure. You know, like, they had other ways of showing their love, but they wasn't the most, let's say, affectionate all the time, right? They wasn't the type to always be like, I love you. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't the type to, you could sit down and really talk to them all, like, you know what I mean? Have, like, real conversation. Now, obviously, when I got older, you know, we as I got older, we hashed and we talked those things out, you know what I'm saying? And got an understanding. And I feel like the first things first, I don't feel like it was the smartest thing to put this on the internet for the simple fact, that, you know, this is your mom, for one. You know, this is private. This is a private matter. The internet, like, the internet ain't gonna be able to do nothing to help the situation. So I feel like it's kind of pointless to bring it to the internet, because why do people need to know that? You know? And then it also just kind of, like, paint this image of your mom, and also it's just like, it opens a gateway for people to intervene and you know, come with their own narratives and be opinionated and speak on your personal situation. Something that should be dealt with at home. You know, y'all sit down and have an actual conversation because, sometimes you got to think about it, man. Like, you got to think about sometimes how your parents was raised, like, especially the ones coming up from the 90s, right? Like, especially if you come from you know, a black family or so-called Hispanic family, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you come from a black family, like, it's a lot of trauma, it's a lot of PTSD, passed down traumas and all type of stuff. They parents, wasn't the best at raising them. You know what I'm saying? Um, a lot of our parents had kids young, at a young age, you know, before they was even mature or even, you know, even figured out what life is about, and, just a whole lot of things. They wasn't developed mentally, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of the times, to some degree, you got to cut your parents some slack because sometimes they only doing the best that they're able to do. But at the same time, though, it's also important to hear your child out, because a lot of times when I was growing up, I just needed to be heard. I just wanted somebody that was gonna listen. Shout out to my step pops, man. You know, um, because I was always able. That was like an outlet for me to, like, growing up, somebody I could talk to, without judgment, without, it wasn't like a parent. It was like, it just felt like a therapist. Like, you listening to my, and give me like sound advice. So shout out to that. And even now, like, me and my mom, we straight. Like, the shit I'm talking about was like from when I was younger, even with my pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, my pops, he always gave me game and shit like that, right? Always made sure I was mentally street aware. I mean, street aware, about if I'm saying it right. Um, but then, him growing up, he was on his own since he was 13. He moved out of his mama's house. You know what I'm saying? And he was in the streets doing what you do in the streets. And so, you know, he lacked in a lot of areas. So he only did what he showed his love the best way he could, which is by making sure I'm ready to go out into the world. I know what to expect when it comes to the streets, and all those type of things. The same thing with my mom. Like, my mom, she made sure a nigga had a roof over his head, clothes, and I ate. You know what I'm saying? I was taken care of, whether our lights was off or whether the lights was on. You know what I mean? Or whether we eat noodles and syrup sandwiches, but we always had something though, And like I said, she did the best with what she had, and then she had her own traumas and that she went through as a young adult and a child. So, you know, I can't fully 100% blame her or even blame my pops, because they only was going off of what they know. And then later on down the line, obviously you mature, you grow, you like start learning stuff, so you get better. And I'm telling you, man, just sitting down with your parents, having that conversation, and just kind of like, if they're willing to listen, because sometimes you got parents like, they're so in denial that they won't even see things from your perspective, like from your lens. They only want to see it from their lens because they have that guilt on them, right? So it's like, I don't know, man. You gotta just give them grace, man. Give them grace, Um, but yeah, I don't feel like this should have been on the internet. Let's go.
Way easier. I can't even say that I just go through bad stuff, but it's like, everybody have their own problems, and I'm sure y'all have y'all own problems. Y'all moms have their own problems, but I feel like if you have a child, the best thing you can do is just be emotionally connected with them. Like, yeah, you can get your child the world, but really just listen. Like, if I have children, I took what my parents did, and I'm definitely gonna apply it to my life. Like, I can say one thing: my parents did show me like a amazing lifestyle. Like, always lived in a very nice house, always had very nice cars, always had very nice clothes, always had, like the newest of everything. So it's like, yeah, they show me that, but it's like, when I have a child, I want to be able to give them that, and I want to be able to give them me emotionally, because I don't want my child to feel like they can't talk to me, or they can't come to me, or they can't,
Hey, and that's better than time. I mean, that's better than material things. Cause like even my cousin that passed away, you feel me? Like you know, his parents used to spoil the fuck out of him. But when it comes to like you know emotional support, being able to really have real conversations with your parents and stuff like that. I don't feel like he got that, man, because bro used to vent to me a lot. Like we used to talk about a lot of stuff, bro, a lot of things. I'm not saying that his parents is like my auntie and uncle and them, like they bad or anything like that. Like no, they did the like I said, they do the best they can. But you know, having nice things don't really is like if you don't address like the or give your child an outlet to be able to speak to you and have real conversations and tell you how they feel and what I'm saying without it being like a you know you do what I say and you don't talk like all that type of stuff. Like it's a time to discipline, but then there's a time to listen as well. Because you never know what your child is going through mentally, and just buying them nice things like that's not gonna that that will mess them up later on in life. Because then when they dealing with issues and they dealing with people, you know, they gonna have they don't know how to process a lot of things, so that causes issues in itself because they never got a chance to really process and really just vent. 'Cause especially boys we already told from a young age, you know um if you cry you a bitch, you know what I'm saying. We taught to be have no emotions, or suppress our emotions at least until one day you got these emotional killers out here, bro. That's why you got a lot of dudes that go to the streets. That's why you got a lot of dudes that end up like, behind bars because they lash out and stuff like that. So we got a lot of them that, you know what I mean? Like that get into these type of lifestyles because they never had an outlet or somebody to vent to or somebody to talk about their issues or, what's troubling them. That will go a long way. Time is the best thing you can give your kids. And in an ear to hear, and time, your time. That's worth more than money. I promise you. The money that's still cool though. Don't get me wrong, but is you know it's a thin line.
because I know the feeling of that. You get what I'm saying?
So it's been brought to my attention that my daughter Gabrielle went on the internet, something I have never did her whole 21 years of life, and spoke on experiencing life in a way that sounds like no child should. LOL, I swear I'm kind of losing my words on this because this is an effing joke to me at this point. Anyone who knows me know I don't play about my kids. It's nothing I won't do for my kids. I don't miss ish that involves my kids. I live my life for my kids. This kid don't know a bad day because of me, but I will be speaking on this. You went on this free app and thought it was safe to say that you went through life not feeling loved, that you went through life feeling alone? What the F? What you won't do is play with my position as a mother. The ish these kids do for likes, clicks, and views. And now we must add the word sympathy should be against the law. This ish is diabolical. Gigi's mom
Now that's crazy because it's like you can't how can you, and that's what I mean by like having a parent that's willing to hear you out and listen to you, listen and look at things from your lens, because your experience is not their experience. Like for her to even say that, that's kind of like that's the point I'm making. Like emotionally, just because you provide for a child, that's not all it is. We be needing people to talk. We be needing to have a parent that we could talk to, express ourselves to. It ain't just about providing or because you made sure I don't have a bad day. Like that's part of it. That's just one piece of it. That's not, in my opinion, I don't have kids, but just me growing up, like providing, yes, that's you're supposed to do that as a parent, but that's just one aspect of it though. Like, proper communication, being able to vent, being able to express yourself, but obviously you're gonna do it in a respectful way. Now, where I do say the daughter is wrong is for bringing it to the internet. You know what I mean? Because then that brings a multitude of people that's in your business now. You know what I mean? Versus y'all sitting down and talking, and the mama being able to hear it. And she kind of seemed like offended, offended, and she got and might have guilt. So she's in denial about how her daughter feel about that. But like, come on now, like, shit, two things could be true at the same time. So let me see, let's go.
Responding to the video, she said, "Oh, I'm sorry." She said that she went through life alone, not feeling alone. Never have you ever. Wow, girl, you constantly trying to diminish my blood, sweat, and tears because of your own identity issues. But I promise you, I won't let you. I've done nothing but love you, silently, loudly, publicly. But it's okay. I'm definitely going to be on this as soon as I can actually calm down. Y'all know I'm super private. What we don't do is play the internet, little girl. Now, not only...
Now that's what her mama is right. I ain't gonna lie. That's what her mama got a point at. You shouldn't have brought it to know. If you really feel like that,
name on it just by thinking about it. Meet base.
But don't go straight to the internet, because then it's like, bruh, now people gonna spin that.
Not only did Gigi's mom post that to her social media, but she also dropped a 20-minute video exposing Cenat and GiGi. Supposedly in the video, the mom claimed that Cenat told GiGi to keep her relationship with her mom off the internet. The mom also said in her video that Cenat did research on her, and Cenat allegedly told GiGi that her mom would ruin her reputation. Now, the mom also mentioned that GiGi's best friend could possibly ruin her reputation as well. Now, the mom also mentioned GiGi's best friend, saying that Cenat said the best friend and the mom can ruin her reputation. Now, the mom didn't know who the best friend was, but a lot of people in the comments was assuming that she was talking about Brooklyn Frost, because a while back, before Brooklyn Frost moved back to LA, she said that she was moving back to LA because she felt alone and that she didn't really have nobody to hang out with, which people were confused because she lives with GiGi.
You know, moms or dads out, but seeing that video broke me. It broke me. To say that you went through life alone, feeling alone, that you didn't feel loved is crazy. Like, I've been a stay-at-home mom for 15 years, y'all. 15.
But the thing is, I would see in this situation, if I was a parent, I would have asked, like, why did you feel like that? I can't just assume because I think I'm doing the right thing that I'm doing that you don't feel no type of way. Like, no, I would ask, why do you feel like that? You know what I'm saying? What made you so that we can get an understanding? That's what I would have did at least.
That was so I could be there, and I was there. I haven't missed anything in that kid's life. I don't ever want to compare my life to my child's life, because I didn't choose my life as a child, but I chose definitely to the best of my ability what hers could look like. Like, girl, you don't even know what a fucking bad day is. And that's just how I feel. Some people could think I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. That's how I stand 10 toes down. Like, there is kids that's going through life alone and unloved. I was poor. It was years. Some years I only had one pair of shoes. No socks, no matching socks, no clean panties, no this, no that. Nothing. I have told Gabrielle, no matter what.
Hey, but what I will say is, though, you know what I'm saying? When it comes down to, like, because I grew up poor too as well, you feel me? But, man, you have some of the best moments, though. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got brothers and sisters, man. Like, I'm telling you, them days is fun. I'm not going to lie. I remember a lot of the bad days, but I remember a lot of the good days, too. You know what I mean? Like, it builds character. You know, just because you have what you need in your household and you well taken care of, don't always mean that your household environment is the best, you know, because you can have parents there and still be absent at the same time, you know, even though they could be trying to give you the best life. But then it's like, what if the best life for them, what if the best things to them ain't you being able to buy them shoes, or being able to make sure they got multiple socks and clothes, and making sure they got this, that, and that third, and everything they want. Sometimes it's really just sitting down with them and making sure they mentally straight, emotionally, you know, straight.
Baby, I love you. You're not going to go through this life without, as long as I got blood, sweat, and tears, and breath in my body, you're not going to go through this life without me. She never had to. I think that's why this just hurts so much. And don't get me wrong, that Gabrielle's dad was never around, y'all. Never. Gabrielle's dad come from a decent family. Gabrielle is her dad's only child. I have 5 kids. 5. And I have custody of my niece. Shit, she just had a 21st birthday party. I threw that for her. She didn't even want to. I was like, no, baby, I've been waiting on this day. Through her big, beautiful birthday party, I invited her dad. You know what I mean? But Gabrielle's dad was never there. Yeah, but it's just like, I fought for this girl. I seen somebody in the comments say, oh, because her mama was.
This just sounds like a conversation that need to be had. It could be hashed out.
Okay,
It's
if there's
just two
one
different
AI site builder
perspectives,
you
man.
need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix.
Because obviously there's a
Mama was
disconnect.
outside chasing rich. Wasn't at home with her daughter. Baby, I don't gotta chase a thing that I attract, okay? You don't chase what you attract. Rich come dime a dozen. Always have. Even when I was that young girl, getting it out the mud, working at the casino, working at night, getting my baby to school, doing what I gotta do. Like, y'all don't know me. Don't speak on me. I never bashed her dad. I never talked about how he never showed up to one birthday. One. Not one. It was invited to all her birthdays. He never showed up. He came to her 18th birthday party. Well, 18th birthday trip. And that is where me and her really fell out. I'm like, sweetheart, I'm not going on a birthday trip with your dad. Your dad has never showed up. He ain't never been there. And mind you, a couple years prior, he called himself going to the courts and lying on me. I still won custody. Still did that. Still fought for her. And that's another problem. I fought for her. I saved.
See, you fought for her, but why would you want to keep her from her dad though? If you fought for custody, if he went into court and he was trying to get custody of her, from what I'm hearing, if he was trying to get custody of her, why would you fought for her, or were you just trying to get back at him so you could be able to control the situation? See, that's why I say like this is. I think what we seeing on that's been displayed on the internet, I think is just the surface level. There's a lot of other drama that led up to this, I'm assuming, because it seemed deeper. Because ain't no way you just crying about that. Like this seemed like it's a lot deeper, and that's why I say like it would have been better for her to keep it off the internet and then just address it, have a conversation, sit down with her mom and tell her how she feel about it, and then also the mom being open enough and to receive what she's saying and ask questions instead of just assuming that she's supposed to feel this type of way because you did this. It's like, but then you don't, you know what I mean? So you got to get her perspective. That way y'all can get to the bottom of it and see where the disconnect happened. And I feel like that would make the situation a lot more healthier versus just everybody in their emotions. And yeah, man, can't be one way with it.
Gabrielle was disobedient. Gabrielle was going down the wrong road. I fought for her. And your dad, all he did was enable you. Like, Gabrielle never tried the disobedient slick. She knew because I was on her. All this, you didn't feel love, girl, you knew I loved you. I ain't play with you. I ain't play about you. Never. I sent you to your dad for 3 weeks. You on the internet cutting up, doing wild. I tell you, when you get home, you taking that weave out your head. I'm taking that phone. I'm on your. I never gave up on you. I used to have to, literally, y'all. I used to have to, cause I'm not going materialistic. Cause hands down, I did that. I did that because I loved her, not to, I guess, bless her or make it like, ooh, we have did for her. We never even post. Never. I never lived for the internet. That's why I think I'm taking this hard. She posted me. She came over. She cooked. She made me breakfast. She sent me to the spa. That's my baby. She posted me. She said, happy birthday to my rock. 6 months later, she get with this dude. I'm happy for her. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like ever since this is going on, I don't recognize her. She ain't never went to the internet and said before that she just felt alone and this, that, and the other. And now that you got this,
maybe she never had a chance to speak on it though. You see how she said she bottled up her emotions and whatever she was going through, right? So she never had an outlet. So eventually, I don't agree with it. I think as far as that goes, I feel like the mama is on point with that. Cause that should have never been brought to the internet. But at the same time, though, I can also understand the other side to it. Cause it's like, bruh, bottom line, no, she shouldn't have brought it on the internet, bro. She should have kept it off the internet and just hit her mom up personally and did it like that. Cause instead of having all of us all in the business, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, though, you know, the mom, man, you got to hear her out. She obviously
That
couldn't talk
attention,
to you.
that's what you doing? I have done nothing but be there for Gabrielle. I don't know who she is. This girl came in my house recently.
And I remember my mama. Shit. It was a point in time where I couldn't talk to my mom. She didn't listen. She didn't hear me out. You know, it was just mom mode all day.
If you were
it's like,
ever groped, inappropriately
you know,
touched, or assaulted,
I never really got to speak my mind until I actually told her that. And guess what? When I told her, she was all she didn't even realize it hurt because you keeping it 100. But at the same time, though, that's how you heal, though. Me and my mom, when I told her that, how I felt, because I told her I felt like that at some point in time. I felt like she didn't love me. I didn't, you know, I feel like I couldn't speak to her about stuff that's going through my mind and everything like that. I felt like that at one point in time. But when I told her that, yeah, she cried about it. You know, she was hurt. But then because she didn't know. Because we never had the conversation. But guess what? After we had the conversation, guess what happened? Things got better. You know, because now she understands where I'm coming from. And then I can also understand where she coming from and why she made certain decisions that she did and why she is the way she is, you know. And then it gives us better understanding on how, like, okay, now it's, you know, that's reverse the curse. God damn it.
This was over. We was here. I cooked. We had wine or whatever. She came in, and I don't know how we got on the subject of the internet. Gabrielle looked at me in front of my friends and told me, I think we need to keep our relationship off the internet. So all of y'all who in my messages saying you ain't post us and since it's this and this and that, our relationship off the internet. Then she follows up with, oh yeah, and Kai said, yeah, Mr. Kai Cenat said, told my daughter, my baby, that he did his research on me. And her best friend. Now, who her best friend is, y'all, I really don't know. I know Gabrielle friends, but who the best friend is, I don't know. But best friend, he said, you too. He said that he told my baby that if she hung out with me or her best friend, and he did his background on us, she hung out with us. It's so hard to even say that her reputation would be ruined. I was just mind blown. Like, and then when I think about this, like over the past couple days, like,
but see, the thing, we don't know why. Why did he say that? What is your past like? And I obviously only think he said that because now he's in a position where he got all these brand deals and, you know, he dealing with them people now. So he can, so, you know, and then that being his girl, he don't want to be connected to anything like that could hurt his image. And that's what I think that is, honestly. Because like, that don't make sense. We would have to know more as far as that situation goes.
All you do is sit down with women of different sorts, different kinds, you know, different backgrounds, different reputations. All you do is sit down with rappers with different reputations. You love a sit down, but you telling me you never even thought to sit down over a glass of water with me. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You don't got I never gave a. But what you won't do is turn my baby against me. You got so much to say about me, but you get on the internet and say, Gabrielle is this, Gabrielle's that, Gabrielle's God-fearing. That's from me, baby. Prayed up. I pray over that girl. I pray for her. I've been telling her to go to church, and she's been going the past couple, weeks? You've been with her, a year and a half now? That's her mama. You say, oh, she could cook so good, she could clean, she this, that. That's her mama. You say she from Louisiana? No, she not. She was born there. Gabrielle's been gone from Louisiana since she was 2. I'm from Louisiana. So that Louisiana girl in the kitchen praying for you, she get that from her mama. I ain't never got on this app and bragged and said, oh my God, Kai said my daughter was this. Oh my God, I did a good job. I ain't never came to this internet for validation. My point is, the way you treat me, the way you treat your siblings, The way you treat us lately. I don't know who you are, boo. I pray whatever your little heart desire. I've always been praying for you to have the desires of your heart, and you know it. And Cenat, you say you're a God-fearing man, baby. Baby, as a God-fearing man, you should know there's so much power. There's life and death in the power of the tongue.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hopefully, man, they get that worked out. Because, like, that's, you never want to see a mother and daughter fight. But obviously, this issue is way deeper than what we think. I feel like we just only learning like the surface level of their relationship. But I'm pretty sure there's plenty of other things that led to why both parties is saying what they saying. So, I mean, hopefully they can get that worked out, man. They can sit down, they all talk as a family, keep it off the internet. You know what I'm saying? Because it's nobody's business. And all it's going to do is make it more messy, because people going to come with their narratives. They're going to come with the clickbait titles, and they're going to put spins on it, and people can, the internet can persuade you to think one thing, and and the internet sometimes will also pin you against people. Because the internet love drama. Let's just be real. People love drama, bro. So, yeah, Most High will they get that situated, man. Actually have a sit down, not on the internet, and see what it do. But anyway, man, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. Rocking with your boy. I'm gonna get at y'all in the next one. I'm gone.
Never seen a rope. Pop out like a boogeyman. Thought you seen a ghost. Yeah, pressure. So impressive. Ain't no pressure. No pressure. Ain't no pressure. He's over here recording. Ain't no pressure.